Hey there, Jeff Burkholder here. Just got my new Canon XF-100 camera here for doing some videos and some of the training teaching stuff that we do with CA workshops. And so right now doing the first one, and that is, kind of throwing the thing into automatic mode and just see how it handles. So far, from what I'm seeing, the zebraing, that works pretty well. I backed myself out of that light there in the bar. You'll see the bars up there. That does the zebraing up on my forehead. I back away from it, boom, pulls back, so that looks pretty good. Doing no adjustment, threw it in automatic color. It's giving me 2800 Kelvin right now, and yeah, we're pretty close to around that range between the daylight bulbs on the right hand side and the tungsten on the left, which I use in the makeup room here. So we have tungsten lighting or daylight on the other side. Anyways, just do a little walk through the studio here as I slide on around. And we'll come on out into some daylight. That's the cove. And then my camera stand there. Of course, the ladder's in the background. Come back around. And the lighting equipment and that. Getting a little bit of peaking there. Well, actually, just did the autofocus peaking on that. So cool. Let's take it on in, see what it does under some fluorescent lighting. Come back here in the video room, which is kind of a mess right at the moment, out of the fact that I have some of my wine and everything in here. Yes, my wine. And then we come up in the lighting equipment and the video stuff and so on. So it handles changing in color really well. Come back out. The autofocus, I'm really impressed with on how quickly the autofocus kicks in and does the peaking. Now I'm going to drop into some darkness. This is the kitchen here in the studio, and kind of see what happens in the auto exposure. It does okay. I'll take the gain up a little bit here and kind of kick it up. We're going to go up to plus. Now we're at 20 automatic gain. So bam, there's the automatic gain. Before we were in no gain at all. So man, I'm impressed on how well the automatic gain works. So I've got no lights on. Okay, as you saw before, how dark it was, and then with the automatic gain, it kicked right on up there. Again, the peaking for autofocus is just kicking on. Autofocus is really fast. I'm impressed. This is its case that it will end up going into. I originally had the foam and everything cut out for the XL2 that was in there. Getting away from the tape cameras and into the digital, just transfer the stuff on over stuff. So we'll come on up into the offices in the studio, all the designs and logos and things that we've done over the years for some of our clients. Just actually finished a really fun logo that we did the other day for a new client called Hydropod. We'll come into the production room. In here I've got tungsten light. The automatic exposure kicked right on over to that, and that tungsten did a really good job. I'm impressed. The video editing in the production computers there. Let's see, we'll come on out. We got some daylight going on there, so getting that blue cast. Come on in, some of my images, some of my panel stuff and that. And now, boom, instantly into some daylight. Let's see how it handles. Yeah, it tweaked and went crazy, but boom, instantly it kicks in. And I'm just going to do is close down the aperture here and see if that can get me some detail. There we go. So the automatic didn't handle that that exposure change, but if I quickly reached up and closed down the aperture, boom, it worked really well for keeping that in there. And now I'm going to come back around and see what happens here. Yeah, it needs the exposure again, so we'll brighten it right back up. But it's really not bad. We'll come into my office, which is kind of a mess right at the moment, but I want to see how it handles mixture of color of light. This is some tungsten up in the lights and daylight coming in too. So it's actually not bad. Shadow detail, black desk, that's not bad at all. So relatively impressed. And then again, that autofocus just kicks right on in really well, and everything works out pretty good there. So not bad at all. Come back around and we'll kick. Man, that autofocus is fast. It dials that right back in. If we come right across the wall here of all the logos, the automatic gain kicks in pretty well. It's focusing, actually it's interesting, it's focusing on the right side of the frame, so it's actually kind of focusing what looks like a head of itself. So not bad at all. Again, back out to the studio, and yes, by the way, I'm just hand holding this, not on a steady cam or anything, just sitting here in the grip, in the hand grip. And there we are back again. Well, again, this is the Canon XF-100. Decided to go the 100 because I don't need the gen lock or time code. On down the line, at some point in time I'll do that. My idea with this camera is, again, shooting some of our lessons for CA workshops and some of the stuff that I'm doing in the little video training presentations and things of that sort for some of our clients, and mixing it in with the Canon Canon 5D Mark II and the 5D Mark III, because we've got those two cameras also. So again, I'm Jeff Burkholder, Life Images Productions and CA Workshops.